Hey, welcome to a video. I posted this in the Discord. So my MF, a guy in the Discord, he made his tier list, and I decided to make a tier list out of it. I ended up posting it in the Discord, and I know when I first made a ranking of this without the tier list, I know people wanted me elaborate a little bit on a few tracks. I think I did on one, but I didn't want to just type it all out because it would have been way too long. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make a video. I want to make a video explaining some of my takes on here. I guess we'll start from the bottom. So we have F tier. We have Calamari Desert. I guess we'll start off with Calamari Desert. I'd say is it's one of the worst tracks in the game. The main reason is the train itself. It basically dictates what you can and can't do. So, if you use too many shrooms here, too little, you get hit by the train here. Oh, you could get hit by the train there, and it gets extremely annoying extremely quickly. And I guess it's a speedrunner. It just eats away at me that I can't do the most optimal shrooms, I guess, without clipping through the train, which obviously I'm not going to do. I know some people can do it, but only really at the top level. So yeah, very annoying track. I guess next is Yoshi Valley. So Yoshi Valley, several things I don't like about it. Firstly, the hairpin, I get it. I get why it's allowed a non-shortcut. I don't think it really fits. I am pretty consistent now though, but it's just not not the best for non-shortcut. And also, oh my god, dude, the shortcuts in this game are so freaking annoying. Even the shortcuts in Yoshi Valley are very annoying. So yeah, not a big fan of this one at all. The spinies are also just torture. I mean, complete torture, dude. Complete torture. So yeah, not a fan of this one either. Then you have DK Jungle Parkway. I mean, where do I start with this one? I mean, the lag is absolutely atrocious. I mean, it lags like hell all the time. And also, the ramp is just hell. The ramp is just hell. I mean, you have to get it to a certain point, drift to a certain degree. If you do go too soon, you lose too much time. You go too late, you jump in the water. I mean, who likes that? I know some people do, I don't. I know some people don't have issues with the lag. I personally do because I don't play on like a CRT or something. Something that's like more suited to this game. I play on like a newer TV that probably isn't suited to this game. But for me, lag's a big problem, so it sucks. Also, I mean, honestly, other than that, it's not terrible. I do think it looked good. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter when the track lags like that. It's definitely not quite as bad as Yoshi Valley or Calamari Desert, but it's still pretty bad in my opinion. Then we have E tier, and then we have Moo Moo Farm. The problem with Moo Moo Farm is it's so hilly, and it's not really, it's obviously there's the big hills in the corners, but some of the hills, it's very subtle about, like, you don't even know. You're like, for example, sometimes like you're slightly midair on your car and you don't even know it, and that's a problem because in this game you cannot drift unless you are on the ground. If you are like in a pixel in the air, like drifting just doesn't work. So the hills in this game and how subtle they can be when you're in the center can just get really annoying really fast, as I always say. And the moles, oh my god, the moles are annoying as shit. Now, of course, if you're playing this game casually, they're not a problem, but when you're speedrunning, you have to go over them sometimes, and they can be pretty annoying. It's just random. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. It's a pretty annoying track. Not much I can really say. I don't think it's quite as bad as the F tier ones, but it's just pretty annoying. D tier is Bowser's Castle. Now, obviously, this track is probably meant to be difficult because it's Bowser's Castle. It can get somewhat annoying, though. I think the thwomps can get pretty annoying. Like, remembering the thwomp powers can get pretty annoying as well. Also, Marty's in jail, so, this track sucks. In C tier, you have Mario Raceway. Now, if you're playing this game casually, it's just kind of alright. But when you're speedrunning it, at least when you're at a decent level, you have to clip through the big mushroom, which can be a really annoying choke point. Other than that, though, it's not that bad. I don't really care for it, though, personally, but it's not terrible. So it's, C tier. Then you have B tier. Now we're getting to the higher ones. You have Koopa Troopa Beach is just kind of alright. You kind of just drive around. Usually you're like aiming towards the left. A lot of the turns are to the left. The ramp can get kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. Overall, it's just a pretty decent track. The crabs also can get somewhat annoying, but it's not too bad. It's just decent. Sherbet Land, personally for me, is pretty good. I like it because I like the shroom. I think the shroom can be fine, but the problem is sometimes the penguin will poke out in the cave, but it's pretty good. The ice, the jagged edges can get somewhat annoying. This is kind of, I feel like the later games, I feel like the ice is more noticeable, but in this game, the slipperiness isn't too bad. It's really pretty much non-existent sometimes. It's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's just pretty good. Choco Mountain as well. Now I guess we're going to get into Choco Mountain. Honestly, I feel like this track would be a little bit lower if it wasn't for the Summoning Soul video. Excluding the Summoning Soul video, I feel like this track is decent. I kind of like the atmosphere to it, but it's very narrow, which means even as a beginner, you kind of have to cut corners tight, which can get annoying. It's just decent though overall. I feel like it's not amazing, but I think it's pretty good. Now we're in A tier, and I guess first we have Luigi Raceway. Luigi Raceway is a very simple track. However, I think I like it because it kind of tests your driving. You know, cutting the shrooms tight, the on the flap side of things can be really fun. And then I feel like, doing the 1-2 shroom can be fun on the 3 lap. I actually like this track. I think it's really good. I know some people don't, but I personally think it's really good. Then you have Banshee Boardwalk. I love the atmosphere of this track. I know some people don't like that dark atmosphere. I personally do. I think the track is, I kind of like the sharp turns, and then some aren't as sharp, and then some are really sharp. Jumping over the little jagged edges can be fun. And you even do it in the cave. There's a little gap you can jump through in the cave as well. So I think this track's actually really good. But then we have Wario Stadium. Now, Wario Stadium, I like it as a consistency test, and it is hilly like Moo Moo Farm, but not in the subtle way. Like, you obviously see the hills, you see where they are, which I feel like makes it less annoying. There are some mini turbos that can be annoying, however, overall, I think it's a really good track. Really good consistency test. But then we have Fraps Snowland. Now, Fraps Snowland, I think, is really good. I think the snowman can get kind of annoying. But again, it's another track where I love it. I love it as a driving test. You have to cut turns tight, and then you have to, cut them over, through the snowbanks, but you got to cut it tight. Same as that little tunnel section at the end, where you kind of have to hop through the turn very precisely, which I think is actually really, really cool. Really unique. So I actually really like this one. Now we have the S tier tracks. So first we got Toad's Turnpike. Toad's Turnpike, again, I love the atmosphere to this one. I understand some people are annoyed by the cars, and I was too as a beginner, but I can kind of get used to them. And I actually really like this track. Another really driving test where you're kind of driving right up against the guardrail, doing mini turbos. It's basically as quick as you can sometimes. Obviously, you want to space them out a little bit, but honestly, I think it's a really fun track. Definitely would put that as probably one of my favorite tracks in the game. Royal Raceway, I mean, from a casual perspective, this is probably the best track in the game. Definitely. And I would say that even as a speedrunner, I like this one quite a lot. I mean, the shortcuts in it are really good. I love some of the sharp turns in it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool track. Obviously, you can't not mention Peach's Castle. I think it's a really good track. Then we have Rainbow Road, which in my opinion is the best track in the game. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible. It's freaking Rainbow Road. I mean, what do you want me to say? Love the atmosphere of this track. I mean, it's probably the best out of all the Rainbow Roads in my opinion. And I think, obviously, some people find this track boring. I don't, personally. I think it's just where the chain chomps, there's just enough challenge to keep you on your feet. And again, it's another really cool consistency test. So, in my opinion, it's the best track in the game. That's all, I guess that's all I have to say. I think it's, I'd say that's my, opinions on this. I think Rainbow Road is probably the best track in the game. I say, either Calamari Desert or Yoshi Valley is the worst. That's about it. If you disagree, well, I guess you gotta be wrong sometimes. Bye.